The View from Gainesville before Alabama faces Florida. On the day before Alabama plays Florida in the SEC championship game, we'll get another perspective on the SEC championship game. So let's chat with my former colleague, Edgar Thompson. The Gator beat writer at the Orlando Sentinel answered 5 questions about the game. Follow him on Twitter and read his work at the Orlando Sentinel website. 1. What's the general mood in Gainesville? Is there hope for the upset on Saturday? The mood of Gator Nation? Depressed, frustrated, agitated, angry, take your pick. Even though the Gators are headed to the SEC title game for the second season, fans are concerned about the program's direction under coach Jim McElwain. McElwain is 2-5 against ranked opponents, has lost twice in state rival Florida State by a combined score 58-15 and has not signed a top 10 recruiting class. 247 Sports ranks UF's current class 18th. Most damning, McElwain was hired to fix the offense, and yet the Gators are 13th of 14 SEC teams in total yards and last in plays longer than 10 yards. UF has scored 3 offensive touchdowns in 4 games and is 127th of 128 teams nationally in red zone offense, leading only 2-10 Rutgers. This gives fans little hope against Alabama's top-ranked defense, a unit that has not allowed a touchdown since October 22. No one here or anywhere expects Florida to give the Bama a game, much less hand the unbeaten Tide their first loss. 2. What does Florida have in the offensive bag of tricks to sting Alabama's defense? Earlier in the week, 6'6", 357-pound David Sharp, a former high school basketball star, made his case for a left tackle pass in the red zone. The way things are going, the Gators might be willing to try just about anything to ignite the offense. Look for McElwain to try to spice up the play calling, which he admitted this week often becomes predictable once coaches get off script. Consider UF averaged 52 yards on its first drive the past 3 games and 21 yards on its other drives. A run invariably has been followed by a pass or vice versa in mind-numbing fashion. Shaking things up really is the only chance the Gators have to move the ball and keep the defense off the field for 45 minutes like it played during the 2015 SEC title game. McElwain also plans to better involve playmakers like receiver Antonio Callaway. The sophomore is the team's most dynamic offensive talent, but has more than 5 touches from scrimmage just twice this season. Heavy doses of Callaway and hard-running tailback Jordan Scarlett, a few shots downfield to freshman speedster Terry Cleveland, perhaps a flea flicker, a double reverse, that left tackle pass, a guy can dream after watching this struggling offense the past month. But really, the Gators have nothing to lose. 3. Turnovers have been an issue for Alabama as of late. How opportunistic has Florida been? The Gators' only chance to stay in this game is to get some bounces, a lot of them, to go their way. If Alabama does present some opportunities, UF has shown the ability to capitalize. Cornerback Jalen Tabor and Quincy Wilson, one of best tandems in college football, came up with pick sixes during a 10-play span to ignite a rout of Missouri. A pick-6 by nickelback Duke Dawson at Arkansas and a fumble return by safety Marcel Harris off a punt were the Gators' only touchdowns during losses at Arkansas and Florida State. A forced fumble by tackle Caleb Brantley inside the 10 at LSU prevented the Tigers from taking a 14-3 lead during an eventual 16-10 loss. The Gators have the speed on special teams and an athletes on defense to make teams pay for their mistakes. If Alabama gets too sloppy, things could get mildly interesting Saturday. 4. Who are a few players Alabama needs to keep an eye on? The aforementioned Callaway, Tabor, Wilson, Brantley are game changers, while Scarlett is an entertaining runner if the Gators can get some push up front. Cleveland had a 98-yard touchdown catch at LSU. Defensive end Jefferson is relentless off the edge while star linebacker Jared Davis is expected to return after missing 3 games with an ankle injury. How effective Davis is remains to be seen, but few linebackers can match his speed and aggressive style. As you would expect, the Gators have some bullets in the gun. Alabama just has more and easily could negate most of Florida's top threats. 5. How does this year's team compare to the 2015 version that played Alabama in the Georgia Dome? McElwain's second Florida team opened the season with a better outlook than the squad that ended skidded down the stretch of the 2015 season. A big reason was seeming stability at quarterback with Luke Del Rio. With Del Rio under center, the Gators routed Kentucky 45-7 in Week 3, a win that looks much more impressive now. But Del Rio injured his knee a week later and was not the same when he returned, and then injured his shoulder. Backup Austin Appleby is more athletic and has had his moments, but he is a Purdue graduate transfer with a 5-11 record as a starter. In short, the Gators once again enter the SEC title with issues at the key position. The offensive line has improved and led the second-half charge at LSU, but then the Gators are banged up and gave up 7 sacks at Florida State. On the other side of the ball, injuries have gutted one of the nation's top defenses. The Gators were without 6 starters, including 4 of their 5 leading tacklers, at FSU. Davis is expected back, but Dawson is expected to be out now. At full strength, the 2016 Gators are a better team than the one that fell to Bama a year ago. But UF is a shell of itself entering Saturday, and the Crimson Tide are better than last season's team. That's a bad combination. Source of this report: www.al.com by Michael Casagrande. Thanks for watching. Be happy. Goodbye.